Greetings to each of you young Lasallians of the sector of Pakistan. I'm really pleased that you have come together for the first ever gathering of young Lasallians in your country. And while you do have young Lasallian groups in your various schools, to come together is a sign that you belong to a bigger entity, a bigger Lasallian family in your country. So I commend Brother Rahman and those who've worked with him in organising this special gathering at this time of the year. You've been reflecting on the theme, Be an Act of Hope. And I think a key word in that is act. An act speaks to me of action or service, doing something for others in the context of your Lasallian family, your school, your country, wherever you may be. It's interesting that in the last month or so, throughout the world, young Lasallians have been promoting peace, young Lasallians for peace. And in your country, you have challenges, but it always impresses me that in our Lasallian institutions in Pakistan, we are people of peace who are signs of hope. You have the great traditions of the Muslim faith and the Christian faith in each of your Lasallian schools. And in those schools, you are together as brothers and sisters, which is what De La Salle envisaged when we began as a Lasallian family over 300 years ago. By being brothers and sisters to each other, in your particular institutions, you now have the grounding to go beyond, to be people of peace to other people in your great country. So I commend each of you, as you've focused on this particular theme of being an act of hope, that when you go back to your school, other institution, family, beyond your school, that you be brothers and sisters to others, act in service of others, so that your country and the world becomes a better place because of who you are and what you do. God bless each of you. I just talk about some recent experience. You probably met in 2010 or 11 Brother Alvaro, who was the Superior General of the Brothers based in Rome, and we visited Pakistan together. And he often used this theme of hope when he spoke or when he wrote. And that really made me think that hope, being positive about the future, having a vision for the future, building on the faith that I have is very, very important. And the other inspiration as a person of hope is obviously Pope Francis. And Pope Francis is a man of hope, not only for Christians, but for the whole world. For example, he was in the United States recently, and the country went wild about him because of the simple message that he promotes of hope and of peace. And of course, I have to return to my own faith, and the story of Jesus himself is one of hope and encouragement. And for you people there, you have the words also not only of the Christian holy book, but of the Muslim holy book, which inspire and give hope as well.
Brother Dave, when you were a 16, 17, 18-year-old young Lasallian, what advice would you give yourself, or even what were you doing at that time?
Well, I was at high school like most of you at that age in New Zealand, the country where I was born. The term young Lasallians was not invented in those days, but people who inspired me and whose advice I took was the brothers. And now I live with one of the brothers who was the principal of the school that I went to. And when I see him, it reminds me of how good it was in those days. The brothers in the school were very friendly towards us. They had that relationship that I talked about before. And they made me think about, oh, how about being one? And of course, now I'm talking to you and I am one. So that was an inspiration in those days. Also, when I was 18, my father was seriously ill, and after 6 weeks he died. And he was an inspiration to me because on his deathbed, he talked to me about what I wanted to do, and I told him I wanted to be a brother, and he said, "Don't give up what you want to do because I'm dying. Your mother will be able to cope with the family." And that gave me a great lift for my future, that one of those final words that my father said to me as he was dying.
Awesome. And can you explain a bit about the hat you're wearing?
Right. Now, those of you watching this will know where this hat comes from, your country. And I keep it in my office as a reminder to me of Pakistan, but it was given to me by the catechists at Kushpur. And Kushpur is a very special place in our Lasallian family in Pakistan, and I love going there and visiting Kushpur, and the catechists and a number of the brothers come from Kushpur. So it's a reminder to me that even though you're a long way from Sydney, Pakistan is still very close to my heart. And if you want me to show you the other one I have, we'll just do another little display. And this one was given to me in Karachi. Now, Karachi, we have a very special place called Don Bosco, where young people live there with the brothers and others, and they're very friendly young people. So this reminds me of Karachi.